Hello and welcome to another look at my pen collection, but this time we're going to look at another sub collection of mine, which are all of my Pelikan fountain pens. Yeah, this is how I store them. The only two I have inked in this collection right now are these two pens, so I added them here to the bottom, but I know that a lot of people who might have a set of Pelikans probably wouldn't store them so much like this. It's pretty crowded. But I'll be honest with you that when I first started my collection, I started putting them in this box. This box was a gift to me early on in my pen collecting career, whatever you want to call that. And so I just started keeping my Pelikans in here. As you all probably know, is you buy one Pelikan, you end up liking it, and you get another Pelikan, and that's exactly what happened to me. And I'm looking through here, I'm trying to remember, oh yes, my first Pelikan, the very first Pelikan. I wanted a Pelikan so bad, and this is like back in probably 2016. I wanted a Pelikan so bad, and this is the first Pelikan I got. I was just so in love with this tortoise shell look. Thought it was so beautiful, and paired with the white cap and the white piston, I just was like, wow, that is just really, really gorgeous. So I started looking around for this pen after seeing it on Instagram, and I found it on Colt Pens. It's got a little nib. So this would be a M400, and M400s are a little smaller than, you know, your typical pen sizes, I suppose. So I'll run it down right here. So got the biggest going down to the smallest. So that's pretty much how I have it set up. But yeah, I remember I got this pen. I was so excited about it, and the ink I always love to use in this is Robert Oster Bronze. It just is a perfect match to this material right here, which I still think it's just absolutely beautiful. I do wish that Pelikan would make this pen in an M600 or M800. I think it would be really beautiful, and if they have, I'm sure you guys can tell me if they have or not. This would be a nice pen in a M600, because the M400, I do like the M400. It's just a little small for me, so this is a great pen to keep with you in a bag. So if I were to compare it to the size of a Kaweco Sport, for instance, which I think is the perfect pocket pen, I mean, it's still longer than a Kaweco, but the Kaweco actually is girthier. So I just, for some reason, I always feel like I'm holding like a really tiny pen when I hold this pen. But I still love it, and I'll probably keep this one forever. Let's put that back. So let's start with the sizes. So this is the biggest one. This is my one and only Pelikan M1000 classic green striped, beautiful pen. Beautiful finial and big giant nib. So that M1000 nib, it is pretty large. I find it still to be a really nice writer. You know, compared to the other Pelikan nibs. Here, let's get the other green stripe one. This is the M600. I find the M1000 nib to be pretty bouncy when you write with it, probably because it's so large. So that's it compared with the M600, just for visual, so you could see size comparison. There we go. So nib sizes from left to right with the M1000, M800, M600, and the M400. So the 1000, I mean, it's way bigger than these other nibs. And the 800, I think the M800 nib is pretty close to perfect. I really do. And it's just gorgeous. Not too big, it's not too small. then the 600 and the 400 nibs, I find them to be very close in size. The one thing about Pelikans, though, is the grip sections are pretty equal. And I will admit that when I write with the grip sections, the threading bothers one of my fingers every time. So I do have to hold Pelikans in such a way where it doesn't hit my finger, where the threading doesn't hit my finger to annoy me. So that's one of my pet peeves about Pelikan, but I obviously still love Pelikan regardless. I really do. So I have to say, out of all of my pens that I've had over the years, I've never sold off any of my Pelikans. So I have every one that I've ever bought or traded for or whatever. I only have 2 M800s. So I have the blue striped one. Sammy, shut up. I'm joined here today by my Great Dane. Shut the door. These are my only M800s in my collection. That one has a dog hair on it. If you guys you have pets, dogs, you'll understand the fur situation. And this is the newest M800, or Pelikan. This is actually the newest Pelikan to my collection that just came out. This is the matte black edition, where it's so sexy. If you could consider a pen to be sexy, I think that this M800 matte black, it's pretty sexy. It really is. So I really love these. This Pelikan, however, and I haven't even reviewed this yet, so this is kind of a sneak peek. This one has a medium matte nib, and it writes very nice. It really does. So it's an 18 karat gold nib. Obviously they have it, you know, covering this PVD matte black stuff, whatever you want to call it. It's got a metal section, so it's a little heavier than most Pelikan pens, but I like it. I did see online some people were complaining that they thought that the black of the barrel wasn't black enough. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's very black. I mean, here, I'll put it next to, here's a cross pen that also is black, kind of a matte black brushed. So it's like, yeah, I mean, the light reflecting off of this is just way different. It's a satin finish compared to what they're normally used to seeing, which is this shiny black resin cap or plastic cap. So I'm going to leave this one out. This one is inked at the moment, and I'm using it, and I don't want to store it with the rest of my pens that are not inked. I'll show you my newest M600 from about a month and a half ago, and that is this beautiful white and rose gold. So this is another one of their newest releases. Still have some ink in there, so I've been using it pretty consistently. I do like the white pens, but the one thing I don't like is the threading always gets like crap stuck in it. So every once in a while I have to get like kind of like it's a spoolie that you use for mascara or eyebrows, and you can scrub in between here with that. You can find it on Amazon, but I do that. So this is one of the few rose gold trimmed Pelikans that Pelikan has made. The only other one that they have done is this M200, which is a beautiful pair. You know, these make a beautiful pair. It's a really cute. Only this has stainless steel nib, but it is also in rose gold. As you can see, the nibs are way different. But I have to give props to Pelikan for their stainless steel nibs. They write really, really nice and smooth, and definitely worth the money. They're also considerably less than their pens with the gold nibs. So I'm going to set this one to the side since it also is still inked. The rest of these are not inked. So I'm going to go down now. Now that I've showed you my M1000, my M800s, now I'm going to show you the M600s, which I like the M600s a lot. I obviously do, because from here to here, these are all M600s. I find them to be a perfect fit for my hand personally. They're not too big, they're not too small, they're just right. So this is one of the few Pelikans I do have that actually has a nib grind on it. It has the Imperial grind from Kirk Spear, and it writes really nice. I do need to get some more grinds done to these nibs. I have a couple that I would like to do that. Actually, you know what? Kirk did grind these two, but I'm not going to talk about those just yet. So I have 3 out of all of these Pelikans that have special nibs. So this one, I'm trying to remember. This one, actually, I think this pen was my first M600. And this one came out, I want to say it was like 2017. When this one came out, it's like that color is so beautiful. And I'm a sucker for the classic Pelikan striped barrels. I think they're so classy, and it's a design that Pelikan has stuck with, you know, for over 100 years. I mean, they're known for it. They're known for the little bird. They're known for their barrels. I mean, it's just a very classy look. So every year it seems like Pelikan releases a white and colored barrel. So these are the ones I have in the M600s. So out of all these, I'd have to say that my favorite is the red, because it looks like a candy cane, and I just think it's visually appealing. This one has a different finish than the rest of them. The rest have gold plate trim, gold dual colored nibs. This one is just silver. Find this one to be still very attractive. I do wish, however, that this one had the gold trim to match the other ones. Now I'd have to say that my whale, and if you want to talk in Moby Dick terms, my whale pen that I missed out on of this series is the pink and white one. And if you go look around on some of the resale sites, the pink one, I mean, I've seen it selling for over $1,000. I've seen it selling for quite a bit of money. I haven't looked lately because it makes me sick every time I see it, because I missed out on it. Because at the time I was still very new to fountain pens, and I saw the price tag, and at that time I was like, there's absolutely no way I'm spending over X amount of money on a pen. I think at the time I want to say I wasn't going over $100 at the time. And we all know, being in this hobby, how that changes. you start like, oh, $50 pen, and then you increase that and you increase it more until you're spending at the most like $1,000. And as a matter of fact, I still to this day, I have some pens that are over $500, but it's that $500 mark that I'm like, oh, okay, that's where I stop. That's where I draw the line. This is a really handsome, this is the gray, black tortoiseshell or gray tortoiseshell. And I got this last year, or it was early 2025. Goldspot had these like on a closeout. It was marked down a little bit, and I pounced because I was like, okay, that one I've had my eye on since it came out. And I know that once it was gone, it was going to be gone forever. So I jumped on it. I got it. I'm not really a fine nib person, but I do find Pelikan fine nibs to be very, very nice. And they do write a little broader than a fine nib, especially in comparison to like a Japanese fine nib. It's a way different experience. This one is still one of my favorites. This is the red tortoiseshell M600. I mean, it's very attractive. And I love that you can pair a red ink with it. You can pair a brown ink with it. You can pair an orange ink with it, and it's a lot of fun to match inks to this pen. My favorite ink to pair with it is a brown ink, and this one writes really nice too. It's funny is though I pick up these pens, and I have, how you have memories of objects and how you've used them and what you do with them. Every pen I pick up, I'm like, oh yes, I remember writing with them. Like, oh, that's a good writer. Am I the only one that does this? I know you guys have to also do the same thing, right? It's like you pick it up like, oh yeah, that one writes really good. I know. We're such dorks, right? And you know what? I'm proud to be dorky, a pen dork. I'm cool with that. So here's another white edition. This is the white silver that came out a couple years back. I think I got this one from Pen Chalet. And had a pretty good deal with that one. It's very attractive. I really love the color of this. I want to say it came out like around the holidays, and it was just, I was like, oh, that's nice. It's just has a kind of a holiday like look to it, where maybe I was just reading into it. But it's a very attractive pen. Way different from this tortoiseshell one, right? Here's another one. This is a brown. So this is the only brown one I have. It's a very dark brown, but it's a brown resin. So this is brown tortoiseshell. And this is one that I believe Goulet had this one on closeout, and it was never going to be made again. And I jumped on that one because I was like, I really love the look of that. I'm a real sucker for these tortoiseshell looks with the different color variations and the shimmer in it. It's just so attractive. So yeah, that's the only one I have with a brown resin. And then these are my only M200s. This was a gift from a friend, which I will keep it and remember her. Like I said, the M200 stainless steel nibs are very nice writers, very smooth. So if you're someone who you really like Pelikans, you like the look of Pelikan, I'll like put these together for a comparison. I would highly advise you to go with the M200 to start off with, because it's a very nice pen. And if you go over to Gold Spot, they have a bunch of these at all kinds of different colors, different prices. In fact, I got this one at Gold Spot early last year, and it was at a really good price. I want to say I got it for $150. So I would encourage you to go look over there. If you don't have any Pelikans, start with the M200 stainless steel nib. There's really only slight differences between the M200 and the M400, such as the bands around the cap and the piston knob. They're different. Another thing is that this is a piston filler. So you get the piston filler experience, you get a good writing experience for for about half the price of these. So I do encourage that. And then I have these two. These are throwback pens that there was a series of these. I want to say there was like 5 in the series. But yeah, there's like a tortoiseshell one in this model that I would really like, and Kirk Spear has it. And I want to steal it from him. But these are nice. This one actually, these are the 101Ns. So that's the name of the model. And they're kind of weird. So they have gold nibs. And to me, they have a very similar look to the M400s. But these are obviously a throwback to the way that Pelikan pens were shaped about 100 years ago. So you could imagine this pen with, maybe a striated barrel, which is more reflective of the way that they look back then. And I've seen them. If you look around, you can find them. But yeah, like this with a green striped barrel. It's very classic. But these are great riders. As you can see, they are a little bit smaller than the M400s. But when they post, they're a decent size. Yeah, I think if you look around, you could still find these pens. Great riders. So, see? It's nice. That's really it. I don't know what else I could possibly say about my Pelikan collection, other than I don't really see myself stopping my collection. I don't ever see myself not buying a Pelikan that I really like. I mean, there's some really special ones out there that I would have liked to have added to my collection, but again, you know, we all have our boundaries set when it comes to prices, and they're just a little too rich for me. But maybe in my dreams, right? Thank you for joining me for a look at my Pelikans, and thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Toodaloo!